What's up, you guys? We are on air, as you can somewhat see, but I'm with my boy Ben. We're gonna do the much
Yes.
earlier award predictions for the NFL. Been a little while since I've been over here with him, so good to see him. Preseason's tonight, Hall of Fame game. We're gonna be tuning into that, so very excited for that. So good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Good to
Yeah,
see you,
that'll
sir.
be really exciting. Our first, or at least in a while,
Yeah.
being able to do an in-person video is
Right.
really exciting.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. Texans Bears tonight at 8, like you said.
Speaking of Texans,
There we go.
go ahead, man.
Yes. Speaking of Texans, so we'll first start off with the MVP award, and I got C.J. Stroud with MVP. I understand Stephon Diggs towards that last season wasn't doing as well for Buffalo, but I think this is a better fit for him where he doesn't even have to be Stephon Diggs, where as much pressure was him in Buffalo just because you have Nico Collins, you have Tank Davis, and they got really nice weapons there. They also picked up Joe Mixon, which is huge.
Right.
So I really like C.J. Stroud win it there. We saw he won Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. He was very efficient, didn't turn over the ball much, and I just see that pouring over into this season. And then for my dark horse, I'll go with Jordan Love after getting that big contract. I really think he can even improve after that 32 touchdown season, 36 total touchdowns. They got a really deep, great receiver core on a rookie contract. So I really like what they're doing there in Green Bay for sure.
I like it. I like it. I honestly, I was torn just because the four guys that we have named up here, I think all of them really do have a chance. I want Josh Allen. I think he
I like that a lot.
really raises the floor of guys around him. Diggs, like he mentioned, was not anywhere near the same as he was the first, 4 or 5 years he was with Allen. I forget how long he's been there now. But Allen, he had Shakir, he had Kincaid, and now they add Keon Coleman, they add Curtis Samuel, and of course you got James Cook, who is coming off a pretty good year. I think Allen really raises the floor with those guys, spreads the ball around, and then of course he can run. I know the turnovers can be a problem sometimes, but the good outweighs the bad with him. So I really think Allen, this is his year to really show how good he is out without having a true number one, even though Diggs definitely wasn't that towards the back end. But I like Allen this year with it. Stafford is my dark horse. He's obviously adding a new weapon with Nakua last year really helped him. Their O line is excellent. I think Stafford's going to have an excellent year playing from the pocket like he did last year and just making all the throws. And of course, he gets a healthy Cooper Kupp back, who is obviously dealing with some injury. I think people tend to forget about him. So Stafford, once again, is probably going to have an elite year, just like he did last year. D-Boy, who you got?
Yeah, my defensive player of the year is going to be Micah Parsons. He can do everything for Dallas. And if he doesn't get the contract before the season starts, he'll definitely get it after this season. Being defensive player of the year, I mean, he can do it all. He's, I believe, the Cowboys' best defensive player and one of the best defensive players in the whole entire NFL. He really knows how to just do it all and be everywhere. My dark horse is Sauce Gardner. I think he's a lockdown corner, and I think he's only going to be more motivated now with Aaron Rodgers, who hopefully stays healthy. So I think that's going to be really big. And we know the Jets' defense is as good as they are. So him just being more used to the defense and everything, because he's still a really young player, will just be amazing for them.
Yeah, I agree. Gardner's still dealing with some of that holding, but obviously he's been locked down since day one. Kind of knew that coming out of college. But I think T.J. Watt can get his second one this year. He's definitely gotten robbed at least one of the past 4 seasons. I know he has one, but I really thought he deserved it this past season, especially his impact when he's not on the field, but which wasn't even last year except for the playoff game. But Watt, obviously, probably the best pure pass rusher in the NFL. Does a really good job setting the edge, especially in the run game. I still think he's got. Obviously, he's not as double teamed as much as guys like Parsons and Garrett, but that's due to just the power and due to the fact that Watt he's always attacking to the outside shoulder, especially on those tackles. So Watt, obviously statistically, has been one of the best NFL players over the past 4 or 5 years now. I think he can get a second one going on into year 8 now, so I think he's 29. My dark horse is Max Crosby. Honestly, I'd honestly be fine flipping him and TJ, to be honest, or any of them. Crosby's effort is relentless. and now he's got a pretty good defensive tackle alongside him with Christian Wilkins on the interior. So that's going to open up more for Max, and it's going to open up more for Wilkins. So plus Crosby plays like every single snap. So he's an animal. So those are my 2 picks for those guys. But I'm leaning TJ right now. So
that's good.
Offensive Player of the Year.
Yes. So
same guy.
Yeah. We both have Tyreek Hill. Obviously, yeah, we both have him. I mean, he had, I believe it was almost 1,800 receiving yards last season, and he was in and out of a couple of games this past season. So Tyreek Hill, man, I mean, he's been Tua's number 1 guy. He was Mahomes' number 1 guy, and yeah, I mean, he's the fastest wide receiver in the game, in my opinion. They call him Cheetah for a reason, and I believe this year Tyreek Hill is just going to have as good of a season as last year, even a little better. But we both agree that if he does eclipse 2,000 receiving yards, he's going to have to win that hands down.
100%.
There's no doubt about that. And he can. He definitely has the potential to do it. And then Breece Hall would be my dark horse. I like him a lot, actually. I think one of the few Jets' bright spots last year was him, production-wise, for running back, and he's a really great running back. He can beat you in different ways, and really fast, elusive, and everything like that. So that would be my dark horse. But yeah, I agree with you, Ian. I believe it goes to Tyreek Hill for the Offensive Player of the Year this year.
Yeah, Tyreek is definitely my pick right now. I was thinking about CD. I was thinking about McCaffrey again. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if McCaffrey wins again. But
definitely could.
I think Tyreek could be really on pace for a historic year this year. So Barkley is my
I like that.
dark horse. Honestly, he could be a favorite due to the offensive line he's playing behind now. So he's going to have plenty of running lanes, especially in that type of run scheme that they have, considering Jalen Hurts can also run the football. And then, of course, you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, all those other weapons. It's going to open up much more for Barkley. And obviously he'll be the workhorse. I think that's going to go really well for him and Philly. So yeah, Barkley is definitely my backup pick if it's not Tyreek or a guy like McCaffrey.
Definitely so. Oh yeah, we both have Terron Arnold for this one. Yeah, I mean I think he can make an immediate impact once he gets there. In all honesty, and I'm thinking like a 5 interception season or something like that at least. I really am for Terron Arnold. I think he can come in and really make a difference there. And then my dark horse is Tyler Nubin. He's coming in for Xavier McKinney for the Giants, so he's gonna have a big role to fill in. But I think he's really being overlooked from this draft class. And I think he can really make a difference there with New York for sure.
Yeah, Nubin started to, I want to say, fall on draft night, but the safeties I thought they were solid this year, just as an overall class, but he kind of went in his range. He's got good ball skills. He plays the run actually pretty well, but he's you can place him all over the field pretty much. I wouldn't say outside corner, of course, because that's tough, but you can play in the slot a little bit. He's versatile. Obviously, like you said, we both picked Arnold. He'll probably be him or Ennis Rakestraw is the other corner that the Lions drafted. I think it'll be Arnold or him as probably their number 1 corner, kind of mirroring guys. But I'm leaning towards Arnold for sure. He's physical. He's really good in the run game, even for his size. He's really physical, like I mentioned like 2 seconds ago.
Right. No, you're definitely right.
He's good in man. He's got pretty good hips. He flips his hips well, mirrors receivers well. So yeah, I was kind of shocked that he fell on draft night, but I think Arnold could definitely make a big-time impact from day one for that Lions defense that needs help in the secondary. Speaking of my second option is Cole Bishop. So we both went corner safety for the pick and the dark horse. Bishop from the Buffalo Bills now, Swiss Army knife. He went to Utah, so he'll be taking that role over of Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. So he's a Swiss Army knife. He's got good ball skills, kind of plays the slot, plays the safety. Really, you can move him around the field. He's athletic. I think he ran like a 4.45 as a white dude, so that's really good. I'm looking forward to see what the Bills do with him, considering their defense got much younger, and he'll probably have to step into a big role for them early on.
Next is Offensive Rookie of the Year. Right. I got Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, no doubt in college football he's the best wide receiver. Just amazing those type of stats he produces. This guy, I know the word does get thrown, but for him, it's especially I think appropriate to say he is a generational talent.
Yeah.
He's got size, he's got speed, he's got hands. He can make those 50-50 ball catches so much. I mean, it's unbelievable what he was able to do with Ohio State. I think that just transitions, and Kyler Murray is so thankful he has that weapon to throw to, because who knows, maybe the Cardinals become a sleeper team, and get back on track now that we can see Kyler Murray for a full season. But regardless, with his mobility and everything, he's going to be loving to throw to Marvin Harrison Jr. That's going to be really big. And then, Keon Coleman for the Bills. That's right. Yeah, rookie. I think, like we said, Josh Allen, he loses not only Stephon Diggs, but also Gabe Davis. And so Keon Coleman, I believe, is going to be getting a lot of targets for the Buffalo Bills. I really do. And I think, you see him I think it could really happen, Josh Allen being MVP. You have him as MVP, and I think Keon Coleman could definitely play a part of that. Josh Allen's going to really like to throw that to him, give it to him, and I think he can. I think he can make a difference, and maybe get close to 1,000 receiving yards or something like that. I see Marvin Harrison for sure getting 1,000 receiving yards, but I think Keon Coleman could be pretty close and really shock people, since he's one of the receivers I feel like that's not really being talked enough about going into the rookie class.
Yeah,
I could really see that.
Yeah, with Keon, he was almost consensus like a top 3 receiver prospect early on, and then people started watching a little bit more. Obviously, the route running's not completely there, but he's huge. He's a freaking red zone target.
Right.
He's really athletic after the catch for his size, honestly. And I think with Josh Allen at the helm there, I think that'll be really good for Keon. I think it'll be really good for Josh. Like he mentioned, that's probably one of the bigger parts of why I think Josh Allen could win MVP. Is due to the Keon Coleman effect. But my pick, I went with Neighbors, Malik Neighbors from LSU. Now, obviously, on the Giants. The only problem with him is will Daniel Jones be consistent enough? And I think he will be. I think he has gotten a bad rap. He's been behind a really bad line. But obviously, Jones hasn't been the great. He hasn't lived up to that number 6 pick, I guess. But Neighbors super explosive. Really, really twitchy as a route runner, deep threat, 50-50 balls. He's got just about everything. So it really reminds me of Ja'Marr Chase. I don't want to say he'll have a similar year to Ja'Marr, but in terms of statistically, I think we'll see a lot of the flashes. Though Neighbors has, him and Harrison are really a lot closer than a lot of people think. I think. So I'm really excited to see what he does, even in preseason. Then my dark horse is McConkey. I just read that Justin Herbert got hurt, but McConkey obviously will be one of his top targets from early on, in my opinion. He's another twitchy route runner. He's a fast guy, really good in the slot, can play outside, takes some jet sweeps and reverse handoffs, all that stuff. So he's versatile in that sense. He's a white dude, so he's gonna be good. But I'm really excited to see what McConkey does with Herbert. But yeah, those are my 2 picks for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Right, and for Comeback Player of the Year, I have Joe Burrow winning it. This would be really great for Joe Burrow's resume, winning 2 Comeback Player of the Year awards. Obviously, that was a tough injury he dealt through last season, but I can tell the Bengals are trying to make improvements when it comes to the offensive line. And I think with Joe Burrow, you still have Ja'Marr Chase, all that, and I think given to be able to see Joe Burrow having a full healthy season, knock on wood, I think it's just going to put the Bengals as one of the best AFC teams, and in this conference of the AFC that they were. He seems to be one of the quarterbacks, one that can actually beat Mahomes in the playoffs. He still, as of now, has a winning record versus Mahomes, and a lot's to do with that because of him. So him being a Comeback Player of the Year would be big. Winning 2 would be impressive on the resume, because I don't know if anyone's ever actually done that before. I don't believe so. And then we actually both have the same dark horse Comeback Player of the Year, Kirk Cousins. That was a really tough injury to see him go through, tearing his Achilles. But now he's on a new team with the Atlanta Falcons, and You got Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London. You got some weapons to throw to for Kirk, and this is going to be an easier division for him compared to where he was in the NFC North, I believe. So I think Kirk Cousins is really gonna, like that. No pun intended. But
Oh yeah.
it's, but yeah, I think this is gonna be great for Kirk Cousins. He has a really young team, and I think that he's actually really going to like that. Um, Again, I did not mean to say that. That would just roll off the tongue. But yeah, Kirk Cousins, I really believe can be a dark horse candidate. I would be really happy for him if he got it.
Yeah, I agree with that. They got Raheem Morris now as the coach over there.
Mhm.
They brought over the I think it was a passing coordinator from the Rams. He also brought him over there, so the connections there. I like what Kirk's going to do with them. Obviously, the young weapons, like he mentioned, it's going to take some time to develop, but they should have a really good run game with Bijan Robinson early on. You got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts, of course, but my pick is Aaron Rodgers.
That photo's tough.
Oh, the photo.
No, but it's good because
Yeah.
he is coming back.
Yeah, but that was the only photo we could find.
Yeah, it was.
But
Didn't have a long tenure with the
yeah,
Jets
yeah.
so far.
But he's my number one pick for the comeback play of the year, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously it's Aaron Rodgers. I still think he's easily a top 10 quarterback. But he's coming back to a much improved offensive line. You get Tyron Smith on
Yeah,
one
that was
side.
big. That was
If
huge.
he's healthy, he is easily a top 5 tackle. He's that good. He is really freaking good. You get a second-year center with Joe Tippmann. You got, I think, Morgan Moses is over there now. Or no, that may be the wrong guy. There's some other Ravens O lineman is there. I'm just drawing a blank right now, but he'll be set up a little bit better. Hopefully, they can protect him. I know he's not playing the preseason, but hopefully, we see him regular season week 1 playing tough and playing like the Aaron Rodgers that we used to see. So, Aaron Rodgers and Joe Burrow.
Yes. Coach of the year. Coming from that coaching tree, I do have Matt LaFleur winning it. Matt LaFleur, I think, is a really great coach. He hasn't won Coach of the Year yet, so I think he's finally due for one. And he's only, I believe, as his time coaching with Green Bay, he has only lost 2 or 3 games in December. So once it's down the stretch, Matt LaFleur knows how to coach to get into the playoffs. And I think he's really excited with this. The Green Bay Packers, for the second straight season, are still the youngest team in the NFL. He's one of the younger coaches in the NFL. He's only about 39 years old. So this is a really young team. He really likes, I believe, working with these guys. Obviously, he appreciated his time with Aaron. But in this new era of Green Bay, this is something he can really relate to, coming up with new unique play calls, coming up with a scheme for the Green Bay to really kind of be this motto of how young they are. I believe their average age is 24. So it's a really young team. And I think this is going to be really good for Matt LaFleur. Hopefully, he can finally get the Coach of the Year because it has definitely been due. And then my dark horse rather is Shane Steichen. Yeah, I think he definitely has a chance to get it. But that's just my dark horse. I mean, there's a lot of head coaches I believe that truly could be dark horses, but I like him actually as an addition in there. So I think he'd be my dark horse.
Yeah, with Steichen,
Yeah.
it's going to be, I don't know, I don't want to say tough, but he'll definitely be in that conversation considering how good the Colts did last year, even without Richardson.
And they could be a
showed some
sleeper.
promise. Yeah,
They could be a
they
sleeper.
really could. They may have the second most talented roster in that division, in my opinion. Honestly, they're that talented. They added some guys in the offseason. I like the draft that they had. I'm really curious to see how Richardson develops, though. It's going to all depend on him, to be honest. But my pick personally is Sean McVay.
That's a great pick.
I know they lost Aaron Donald, but McVay's obviously been as consistent as a coach as anybody. I know, and he's still super young. But I really do think that it kind of has to do with the Stafford as the dark horse
Yeah.
pick. I
absolutely.
genuinely think that the Rams could be fighting with the Niners for that division, and I really see the Rams being a really solid team this year because they had a bunch of young guys last year who really impacted the squad. Kevin Dotson had a breakout year, an All-Pro breakout year after Pittsburgh used him wrong, I guess. And then, but they had Kobe Turner on the interior D line with Aaron Donald as a rookie. That good. Byron Young had 5 or 6 sacks as a rookie. You had Puka Nacua with a historic rookie year for receivers, and of course Kyron Williams breaking out.
Yeah.
And then you add Blake Corum, add a couple other guys on the offensive line who probably won't impact early on, but I know that they added some corner, and then they added Jared Verse and Braden.
Oh, that's huge.
Jared Verse on the edge, who
King so much.
I'm not a huge fan of, but honestly the Rams will probably figure out how to use him. Braden Fisk is a freak of nature on the interior D line, so honestly I doubt that they get an Aaron Donald type of impact.
That's
from
a
any of those
once in a
guys,
lifetime.
But yeah, that's generational. But
right.
It's guys that can continue to work on their game, and they're young. They're going to get better, especially under McVay's guidance and all that direction and all that stuff like that. I'm really convinced that could happen. Then of course Matt LaFleur is the dark horse, his pick.
Mm-hmm.
They just took a leap this year. They're only bound to take another one. If they make a 12-5, 13-4 leap this year, then you can pretty much just hand them the award, I think. So
definitely so.
Yeah. Just to recap all that, MVP, Stroud, Allen.
Yes.
Deep pool, I picked Watt, Parsons for offensive player of the year. Both of us had Hill, defensive rookie of the year. Terry and Arnold, offensive rookie.
We both
had
Arnold,
the 2 top receivers, so
Harrison and Neighbors,
Harrison, all that. And then comeback player Joe Burrow
and Rodgers. Yep.
Coach of the year, of course, McVay and LaFleur.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
Yes.
Good 21-minute video. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we'll plan on doing some more prediction videos before the season starts.
Definitely once the football gets going again, hopefully start uploading a little bit more.
Absolutely.
I've been taking a little bit of break, but
yeah, we'll try to do a regular season one, then maybe
sir.
a playoff one. It'll be good.
But yeah.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Appreciate you guys tuning in.